Making a VSL is one of the highest leverage activities you can do because by spending an extra hour planning it, you get a banging video that'll be around on your landing page for at least a year. So why make it look like everyone else's? This is going to be a raw, barely cut, unscripted, step-by-step video about how you can stand out from the crowd when making your VSL, and it all starts with OBS. So this is OBS. So the beauty with OBS is basically the section right here, the scenes feature, because you can make as many scenes as you want with as many different sources as you want. So this is just the camera source that I can use to call attention to just myself. I can have a screen share where I'm sharing the screen with people. I can have my iPhone camera that I use to kind of show my screen, show what's around me, show anything. I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do this setup. And by the way, if you're serious about making a VSL that stands out and drives results, I'm offering a free custom edit to the first 5 people who book a call using the link below. This is a one-time opportunity, so if you want to take your VSL to the next level, now's the time to act, click the link, and let's make it happen. Alright, so let's get into it. The first thing you're going to want to do is go to obsproject.com. Now, you can also get to this website by searching OBS in the search bar at Google and then just clicking literally the first result. But as you probably know from running an online business, SEO can change over the years, and I want this video to be evergreen. Anyway, when you go to this page, you're going to see 3 operating systems. Just click whichever one is yours. Mine is Mac. Now, if you're a Mac, you're going to want to check to see if you have an Intel or an Apple Silicon chip. So you do that by clicking this little Apple icon in the top left and then clicking on About This Mac. Now, in the chip, it'll tell you if it says Apple, or if it begins with an M1 Pro, or it says Apple whatever, then that means it's an Apple Silicon chip. Now if it says Intel, then obviously it's an Intel chip, and you click on Intel over here. So obviously mine's Apple Silicon, it's M1, so I'm going to click this, and that begins to download automatically. If this is your first time on the website, it's going to ask you, do you want to download, and then you just say yes. Now this is the download. You just double click it to open, and all you have to do on Mac is just drag and drop, and boom, it's downloaded. I already have it, so all I'm going to do is just replace it. Basically, it's not going to ask you if you want to replace it because you're downloading it for the first time, but it's just doing that for me. So you're just going to want to add it to your applications and be good to go. Now, when you do open it for the first time, it's going to ask you, are you sure you want to open it? It's downloaded from the internet, blah, 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 blah. Just click yes, or open anyway, or whatever the option is. Like, yeah, open. Just click open, and then open the application. We can see, oh, that's my phone. We can see my lovely face again. And I'm going to do a couple things to make it a brand new what you should be seeing. So typically when you open OBS for the first time, it's going to ask you for permissions and for extensions to enable these permissions and extensions. And so there should be a link in the box to take you directly to the settings to enable these permissions and extensions. Or you can just go to privacy and security, and it should say enable extensions. It's around this area that you should see a pop-up saying OBS was disallowed from starting an extension. You're just gonna click allow, and then usually you should be prompted to give it certain permissions, such as screen recording, as you can see OBS here, microphone, camera access, all that stuff. It should ask you, and it should guide you through that pretty easily. So if we come back to OBS, we should see something like this screen right here. This is the auto configuration wizard, and basically what they're asking is if we're optimizing for streaming or recording. So we're going to be optimizing for recording for your VSL. But if you do plan on streaming, you know, for webinars and all that stuff, you can always create a new profile up here, or you could go back and change the settings yourself later on. So we're just going to focus on VSLs right now. But then we're going to click on next, and then I typically go with the default settings they've given me because they've run tests in the background to see what your computer can handle, and I've tried increasing the settings, but I always run into issues of dropped frames and lag, so I just find it best to stick with whatever they give me. So next, and then apply settings. Now, this is what your OBS should look like. So now to film your first VSL, you want to create your scene if you don't already have one. You should have a scene, but if you don't, you're going to create a scene by clicking on this little plus icon in the bottom left corner. And now we're going to name this VSL screen share. So now we're going to create sources by clicking on this bottom left plus in the sources window, and we're going to create our first source, which is going to be your camera. So you're going to click on video capture device. It's always good practice to name your sources. So I'm just going to name this MacBook camera. Now this is just in case you end up reusing sources across different scenes. As we'll see in my little demo I did at the start of the video, I ended up reusing a source across 2 different scenes, so it's just easier for organization purposes. So you're just going to click on whichever device, click on your camera device. As you can see, there's a drop down. If you have many cameras, this will apply to you. If you only have the one camera, then you just click on the only camera you have. And then I go with the default for the rest and click on OK. Now we're getting somewhere. Now we're in business. So now we're going to add the screen. So you have a few options for this, similar to Loom. You can record your entire monitor or a specific window, and I'll show you how to do both. So plus icon in the sources window again, and then what we're going to do is click on macOS screen capture. And so again, we're going to name it, I'll just name it macOS screen. I think that's fine. And now you want to click, you want to make sure display capture is clicked. And if you have multiple monitors, you want to click on your monitor. Right now, I'm only recording from my laptop just to simplify things a bit. But I also like to hide OBS from capture just to make things a little bit cleaner, and stop myself from needing to make extra cuts. But since this video is about OBS, I'm obviously not going to do that, but you should feel free to do that. Make sure you do that. Actually, I would highly recommend, especially if you're not making a video about OBS. And then we're just going to click on OK. All right, so now we can see our screen and hide it just like that. But to record a specific window, it's basically the same steps. So we're going to go to macOS screen capture, and I'm going to say landing page. I'm going to name this landing page. And so what I want to do now is click on window capture. This is what you're going to click to record a specific window, is window capture. Now, what you're going to want to click is you're going to want to find your window. So I'm on Safari, and this is my landing page, CCC Medios, and this is going to be the window that I will record. Now, if you're having trouble finding your window over here for whatever reason, you want to make sure that show full screen and hidden windows is checked, and it'll give you much more options, much more things to look for. So now I'm going to click on OK, and this is the window that I'm using. So you don't have to do both of them. You can pick one. So I'm not going to do both my screen and my window. I'm actually just going to do the window and delete the screen, but I just did that just to show you how to do both. All right, so now we have our sources. I'm actually going to show you the most common OBS setup style for VSLs, which is basically kind of what I demoed at the beginning of the video, and it's basically where your camera takes up about 1/3 of the screen and your shared screen takes up the rest of the 2/3. So first of all, you want to resize your window if it's not correctly sized. Now I already actually did this because your window size on OBS is actually proportional to your window size that is actually on your Mac. So you can do it that way, or you can do it just by simply dragging the corners, or you can do it dragging the corners like that, or you can do it based on the method I'm about to show for the camera. You can just copy it to the windows. You can, bro, I'm struggling. You can copy it to the windows and stretch it out, though pause, however you would like. So I showed you how to do the window. Now we're going to crop the camera to make it 1/3 and shift it to whatever side. I actually don't like that it's mirrored. I'm going to change that really quick. But we're going to crop the camera and shift it so we can get that, what we had at the start of the video. Alright, so to do this, you want to right click on your camera, your video device, whatever it may be. And then you're going to go to transform and then edit transform. Now you want to crop the left and the right, or if you have a bias, like maybe your camera is like tilted this way, then you can just crop the right in, and same with the other way, you can crop the left in. Whichever one your bias is, then just crop that. But since my camera is basically in the middle, I'm going to be cropping the left and the right. So let's go. You can also just do this by like just scrolling. That's exactly what I'm doing, is I'm literally just scrolling. And I'm gonna do the same for the right. And I want to get to the point where, yeah, this is perfect. All right, so now here we have it. All I have to do is literally just move this camera to the right, and now it is the exact same thing as what we had in the beginning. And I can just scroll through, walk through my landing page with you if I wanted to, or I could, I don't know, show you whatever you wanted to see. This is how you do the VSL that does not look like everybody else's at the very least, because everybody's using Loom. Everybody's using Loom. Please stop. Please stand out from the crowd. Use something different. Use OBS. Hashtag not sponsored, because this is free. This is absolutely free. And you know what isn't free? Loom. And I don't get why people keep using Loom. Please tell me. Alright, so I said we're going to make the exact same setup as I did at the start of this video. So right now we have VSL screen share. I'm going to add another one and make it only the camera. So now for this, we're just going to add basically an existing camera, which is going to be the MacBook camera like we had before. And it's just going to be this, very simple. And then the other scene we're going to have, we can rename this existing scene by right clicking and then click on rename. And then this is going to be iPhone camera. And so I want you guys to at least be able to see me. So I'm going to just add my camera, but this is my iPhone camera. So if you have an iPhone and you have a MacBook, you can actually do something called continuity camera. So all you have to do is go to settings, and then if you go to general, you can click on AirPlay and continuity. Did not click on that. You can click on AirPlay and continuity right up there and make sure that continuity camera is toggled on, and that is how you can use your iPhone and your Mac to do AirPlay and continuity. There's obviously some software restrictions. You have to make sure you had a certain version in terms of your iPhone and your Mac and all that. That's available on Apple, but just in a pinch, if you know you have the latest stuff, then you can definitely do it, and this is how you do it. So now I'm going to add a camera, video capture device. This is going to be my iPhone camera. Oh yeah, I used it before. Alright, iPhone camera 2. So this is going to be my iPhone camera, and now I'm literally just going to click on Kadi camera. It's going to be the name of your iPhone and then camera. And this is she. This is her. This is it. This is the camera. So this could be anything. It could be a second view. It could be, like focusing on something that you want to show. It could be anything. Like, I want to show this, for example. Like, I want you guys to know that if you book a call, you get a free VSL. And that's exactly what I'm showing you. It could be anything. So you can use this camera however you like. You can change it to the VSL, go back to the VSL screen share and show your screen, show your portfolio, whatever the case may be. Change it to the camera to call attention to yourself, or whatever the case may be. Add more scenes and do more stuff. The sky is the limit, and this is the beauty with OBS. So with that being said, like I mentioned, the first 5 people to book a call gets a free VSL, but at the end of the day, like, as we all know, VSLs aren't everything. YouTube is the main platform you need to be expending time and energy on, and if you want to see how to get started step by step, then watch this video. See you soon.